What's going on, everyone? So we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers need a center, and free agency is vastly approaching. We're literally going, depending on when you're watching this video, might even be the day of free agency. But the number one center priority just became available for the Lakers, in my opinion, and that is Day'ron Sharpe. So the Brooklyn Nets have declined his qualifying offer, making him an unrestricted free agent. And Lakers need to, look, I would love Clint Capella. If you can get Clint Capella too, perfect. I mean, you could have Clint Capella be your starter and Day'ron Sharpe be your backup, kind of work him into the system, and then eventually make that transition if that's the route you want to go. Regardless, Day'ron Sharpe must be your priority. He's a guy that the Lakers were interested in trading in. He's somebody that myself and many others have talked about very heavily. He's a guy that I wanted on several, like Dorian Finney-Smith trade. They should have traded and gotten him and acquired him, right? Obviously, it depends on what he's going to demand in the open market and what teams would be willing to pay him. However, I don't think right now he's going to be a super expensive guy, right? Because he still needs to prove himself a little bit, right? He's still, he's not a true 7-footer, right? And we'll go over all like the details here in a moment, but he's a big, physical, strong interior presence that can block shots, rebound like a madman, and just be that lob threat for the Lakers, right? This is a guy that has the height, the weight, the wingspan, everything that you want for an interior presence. Preferably, I would like him as your backup center, right? And like I said, go get a Clint Capella, or again, if you get a Day'ron Sharpe, now that kind of takes pressure off of you, and maybe you can go make that trade, make a trade for a guy, and then now you have Day'ron as your primary backup. Whatever you have to do, whatever you need to do, go get Day'ron Sharpe, right? Day'ron Sharpe, I think, he's a long-term answer for the Lakers, right? And look, Lakers have looked at several guys. Ziaire Williams, for example, isn't a true 7-footer, right? But Day'ron Sharpe is a guy that can come in. He's 23 years old. He won't be 24 till the start of next season, right? In November. This is the exact kind of guy that the Lakers need, right? A guy that can be that interior presence, slot in at the 4 or the 5, guy that has shown the ability to stretch the floor. Not something I'd want him doing regularly right now, but all the signs and tools of what you'd want from a guy like him are all there. All of them. But on the surface, right? What are the comps, right? Well, he's, again, 6'9", 265 pounds. He, like I mentioned, is an excellent rebounder. As far as the wingspan goes, right, what's his length? He's got a 7-foot wingspan, right? So, again, he's a guy that's... See, the problem with Day'ron Sharpe is he's listed anywhere, like, depending on where you look, he's listed anywhere from, like, 6'9" to, like, 6'11". Right, so he's probably closer to 6'10", let's call it 6'10". He's not a true 7-footer regardless, but he does have the wingspan and the length that you want to be that shot blocker, be that rim bounder. He's a bull in a china shop type of player, right? He's not afraid to bang with the big boys. He can get down there, be a big physical interior presence. I really like the idea of what Day'ron Sharpe brings in that regard. But as far as his production on the basketball court, past season, 50 games played, 18 minutes per game. So again, backup minutes, took 6.3 attempts, 52.1% from the field, from 3-point range. Shot on one attempt, 24.4%. He's a career 29.5%. Again, it's there. You just have to work with him on it. Right? It's why I said earlier, I wouldn't want him shooting threes unless, it's one of those things where it's like he has to just get it up. But outside of that, not a guy I want stretching the floor or operating as a floor spacer right now. He's not a guy but it is something that you can see. And if you've watched him play and you watch a shot, he doesn't have a bad shot. It's just something that he needs to work on and continue to improve and get better on. So I do think that he'll be eventually able to knock it down with some consistency. I'm not expecting to be 40% or anything crazy like that, but just with a level of consistency, right? 2-point range. 56.6% on 5.4 attempts, EFG of 53.8%. Free throw shooting, he was 75.7% on 1.5 attempts. He averaged 6.6 rebounds, including 3 offensive rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block with 8 points. So in limited minutes, in a limited backup role, he averaged a steal, a block, 8 points, and 7 rebounds, or just under 8 points and 7 rebounds, right? Look at his per 36. Now, per 36 doesn't tell you everything, but it kind of gives you an idea of what he could potentially be if he was, that full-time starter role, what the potential and upside is, right? Well, this past season, he would have been 16 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Go get this guy, right? He's a guy that I would love to see the Lakers go and acquire. He's somebody that I've talked about on numerous occasions that I really want to see the Lakers now, right, go get. It's kind of funny because now it's like in hindsight, it's good that they didn't trade him or trade for him because it's like you might be able to, or you can now get him for free if he's willing to come aboard. But another guy that makes a lot of sense for the Lakers that I'd love to see maybe acquire along with Day'ron Sharpe, Ziaire Williams. So Ziaire Williams also had his same thing. They didn't extend his contract, and now because they basically want to clear the salary dump. They drafted a bunch of guys. Nets are full rebuild, right? They're headed in a new direction. But Ziaire Williams is another guy, 23 years old, long, versatile, lengthy wingspan, height player, right? 6'9", can defend multiple positions, play multiple positions, hyper athletic. These are the kind of guys that the Lakers are clearly looking to bring. Right? It saw that with the draft. But on top of that, gives you another young guy who's 23 years old, who last year averaged 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. The potential and upside is there. He has the athleticism. He has the scoring ability. He has basically everything that you want from what he could potentially be. He's a guy that high upside. I've talked about, trading for like a Cam Whitmore or something like that, which I would still probably look to do. But Ziaire Williams is another guy that could give you that. Another low risk, high reward type guy that you could bring in on a bit of a prove it deal to kind of come in and like, hey, let's see what you can do and what you can provide to this team, especially over, an 82 game season. Lakers need athleticism. I've talked about it so heavily. Lakers need desperately athletes, right? Especially alongside Luka, especially alongside Austin Reeves. If LeBron stays or he goes, you still need it either way. If he leaves, you need athleticism. If he stays, guess what? He could use other athletes around him too. Regardless, the Lakers need athletes. And a Ziaire Williams is a guy that I would absolutely look to bring in. Now, what does he provide? 63 games played last season, 45 games started, 24.5 points per game, 8.3 field goal attempts, shot 41.2% for the floor on 5 attempts, or just under 5 attempts, 34.1% from three-point range. Definitely needs to work and improve there, but it was his largest attempts and his best three-point percentage, so that's good, right? You see guys that are like, they'll be like 40% on 2 attempts, and as soon as they take 4, they're like, 20%. So he's a guy that you're seeing the uptick pattern and trend. 2-point range, shot just under 51% on 3.5 attempts, 51.1% EFG. Free throw shooting on 2 attempts, 82.1%. Grabbed just under 5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, grabbed a steal, half a block, and 10 points per game. Again, you look at his per 36 numbers. Again, doesn't tell the whole story, but he'd be 15 points, just under 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.5 steals, and a block. Again, another guy you could sign me up for, right? Coming off of a good year where he started to show some real promise, a guy that could be a legit 3-and-D wing, 6'9" in length and size. Lakers just got these guys, in the draft and undrafted free agents, right? Lakers clearly are in the market for these type of players, the Ziaire Williams. But Day'ron Sharpe is a guy, Lakers, he's my number one priority now. Like, even over Clint Capella, I think Clint Capella could be better as a starter for you and whatnot, but I absolutely think that Day'ron Sharpe needs to be our day one priority. I just think that they give you 2 young, versatile players. Day'ron slot in at the 4, slot in at the 5. Said excellent rebounder, can defend, right? Be a lob threat, do all those things. Ziaire Williams gives you some real athleticism, gives you some switchability, some versatility, some real upside for this team. Like, I'm fine if the Lakers just go and get a bunch of young, athletic wings, right? Like, go get a Ziaire Williams, go get a Day'ron Sharpe, go get, a Clint Capella, or if you want to trade for that center. Like, here's something I would love to see. I'd love to see the Lakers go get Zaire, go get Day'ron. Right now, you got that. Trade, Rui. Can you trade Vando, Kleba, Gabe Vincent, all of these guys? turn those guys into, an Andrew Wiggins and, a Clint or Nick Claxton. There we go. I knew I'd get it right. Those type of guys or whatever. If you can go get that clear center, turn those guys into kind of the veteran, more like, sure, like, hey, these guys we know can play right now. So you kind of get that balance with LeBron and Luka, but then go get all those young athletes for the bench and the bench role so you can start growing and developing some of these guys, but also they're guys that can play over an 82-game season. They're guys that can just blitz teams and do all that stuff. Like, I just think that adds, that's the direction in which the Lakers should really look to turn to now. I just think he is somebody that, or these two guys are guys that, particularly Day'ron Sharpe, right? Day'ron Sharpe is the guy that I want to see the Lakers get more than anybody right now. Like, that is the guy. Go get him in free agency because he just has so much upside and potential still. He's so young, right? Like, he's a guy that can come in and be, he could be your starter in a year or two, right? Like, I wouldn't, if you told me he was our starter this year, like, I wouldn't hate it. Like, I don't think it'd be the end of the world, but I'd like him to kind of get a little more comfortable, get a little more acclimated, get a little more seasoned on him, right? Start playing a bigger role because he's always played kind of that backup limited minute role, right? What does he look like in 25 minutes a night? I'd like to see, what I'd like the Lakers to do is go get, maybe that's what you do. Maybe go get a Clint Capella, bring a Clint Capella in, bring in Day'ron Sharpe, kind of let Day'ron get, split the minutes between them so they're both getting, 25 or 24 minutes, I guess. Splitting the minutes between those two. Let Day'ron kind of get an expanded role. Clint stays with the Lakers, for 2 years. And then once he's ready to go, maybe Day'ron is now ready to make that move into the starting unit. I don't hate it. And you look at a lot of the centers that the Lakers are trying to get anyway, right? Like, Jared Allen is not a true 7-footer. Nick Claxton's not a true, or I think he's like 6'11" or whatever, but still, but he doesn't have the weight behind him, right? A lot of these guys, unless you're getting a Walker Kessler or something, But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. I helps me a lot, so we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.